Hi, YouTube. I hope everybody's well or fine. I should, well and fine. Them two words are so deep. Um, Hope you're doing all right. I was thinking to myself, if I met my forefathers, God and, well, mom and father, creator, what would the Most High Almighty, if I met the Almighty, Mr. and Mrs. Almighty today, what would I say? And then I was thinking, long time no see, what took you so long? Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah. But anyway, I wonder how many people think that that's possible or, um, if you've considered it, So, yeah, because I talked to texting. I talked to both my sons today, so that's nice, and it's a rarity. So I was thinking about kids and parents and that type of thing. So yeah, um, yeah. Anyway, just 1 minute. Oh, I downloaded some more music today. Put some on my TV too, my smart TV because guitar and piano music. So I know how to play piano tiny bit, even less than what I know of the guitar. So um, mm, just messing around kind of, but I always wanted to take some lessons. So I'll see. But I got a couple programs that I might. I've got a little keyboard. So that's a Yamaha too. Come to think of it, just like my guitar. And then this one guitar teacher, he's like, yeah, if you play an expensive guitar, you'll, um, you know, the chords sound cleaner and softer and whatnot. Yeah, I know that. But the sad thing is, the one that burnt up in the fire was like even way back when was a $700 guitar and would be worth about 2,500 right now. It had abalone up and down the fretboard, and um, this one's got mother of pearl a little bit, but geez, even $100, $200 for a guitar, that's a lot for people to put out. I mean, there's times when if I had like which I literally had a $5 guitar. It was an old beat up guitar, but that's all I could afford. But you know what? At least I had one. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not gonna let that discourage me. Of course, it's gonna make your music sound better and make you feel better about playing it. But I feel grateful for my cheaper one than what this guy has, a Martin. I mean, okay, they're handmade out of cherry wood, and I even had them offer to build me one at one time at a discounted price, but it's like I couldn't do it way back when. So, um, but yeah, they sound good. Of course they do, but yeah. Anyway, so for a second, I thought, is that old Satan trying to get me depressed again? Like, don't even pick up that junky guitar. It's so cheap. I'm thinking, probably, but that's not going to work because it still sounds better than my $5 one did. So, and my very first guitar was it wasn't a full size guitar. It was called a Harmony Melody. And kind of, well, I got a little junky one just like that right now, too. But, well, actually, it sounded pretty good. So, I don't know. I guess in there they were about $30 in 1970. So it's like, well, I don't know. Maybe I should call out his name and say, hey, don't discourage these people. Say, of course, a more expensive guitar is going to make your music sound better. But if you can't afford one, don't be discouraged. That's what he should have said, you know. Like save up for one, or maybe you'll get one, but just to come out and just say that and then leave people hanging, I thought. And then he's talking about the couple different really expensive guitars he's got, and I thought, what a damn jerk. Really, really, honestly. I got a couple really expensive electric guitars. I got a solid body one, and I've got a Gibson and a Fender, and they're both solid. One's a solid body bass, excuse me, and the other one's electric guitar. They're both electric, but um, and they're expensive because they're ancient, you know. So, but yeah, just was rude of them. I thought, you know. Anyway, thought I'd get on here and say hello, and I was wondering how many people would want to talk to the Almighty, and what would you say? What would you say if you can meet the creator of all, everything, right now? You know, like I say, I go back to what took you so long. I've been waiting forever, you know. So, anyway, had kind of a cloudy, gloomy day around here. Little chilly. It was about 45, but yeah, just kind of with the clouds and stuff, it was sort of, oh, not depressing, but just kind of gloomy, you know. So, anyway, but yeah. Oh, I don't know what else is going on. Oh, yeah, I heard people talking about, um, like basically because we were created, by the fallen angels are our forefathers, literally, and Christ's blood is coming up through them. Um, you know, a lot of people aren't ready to realize all that or talk about all that, and it's like, let's get with the program. This is our history. Let's dig into this stuff, and if somebody's got a little piece of information that God put in your heart, don't hesitate. Speak about it. Get it out there. You know, because we all are of that, and we have a right to know everything. That'd be like me being adopted and never having met my real mother. Um, that, you know, she might not have thought so, but I thought I had every right to want to know what she looked like, you know, and to know who she is and what she's like, you know. I guess maybe, um, you know, once you give something away, it's like stay there, you know, type of thing. But that's just too flippin' bad because I had every right as a human being that somebody else put on this planet. And I feel the same way about God. I really do. I think everybody has every God given right to know the Almighty. You know, so anyway, just some of my thoughts today. I had to click on it. I wasn't going to, but then I seen Rex Bear was had a video about, oh, stem cell hamburgers made out of your own DNA, and then when he started reading the article, it was about the beef that they were making with cow DNA and yeast and fibers from the cow and wheat, and that it wasn't, and they put saffron and something else in there, but it was like lacking the fat, and it didn't like taste like a normal burger. So his title was a little clickbaity. Yeah, if it would have just said about replicated cow burger with stem cells, that I knew about. But, and I thought, well, so I watched a part of it, and maybe something was more towards the end. So, but I don't know. And I was thinking about something Lionel said, which is hilarious, and I've heard a couple other people too say it. We might as well start calling the moon flat moon. Let's promote that. Who gives a who? You know, none of us can prove it to the other ones. They can say they can do experiments and prove this or that or whatever. Because water seeks its level and whatnot. But I couldn't say I'd beg to differ because I don't beg. But there is a place in Minnesota on Lake Superior, a very, very large body of water. And in this one bay called Grand Marais, um, about around November, the water looks like it's coming out of the shoreline. It literally looks like it has a roundness to it, which is really crazy. And that's on a still lake when there's apparently no, I mean, the tide isn't coming in or out. There's very little movement, and it looks literally like that, like a dome over the water. It's crazy. But I've seen it with my own eyes more than once in this same area, and it is nuts. Maybe I'll get up there. It's quite a ways. It's about 300 miles away. Well, let me see. Mm, couple hundred, I guess. Yeah. But it takes a while to get there because you got to go through Duluth, which is a sizable city, and get around up into the mountains. And yeah, it's even the road is sort of treacherous. You got like as big as the ocean on one side with cliffs and mountains on the other side with rocks and whatnot. And one time we were up there and it was nighttime and a great big boulder fell off the cliff and um, stopped traffic on the other side of it. But and it was raining out, cats and dogs, and it was treacherous. So we were on our way to Canada. So yeah, but that was quite the trip. Mm. So if anybody doesn't know who Rex Bear is, it's the Leak Project, and I kind of, well, I mean, one of the nicest guys you probably ever meet, but and I'm sure he's got Christ in his heart. It's just that at one point when I first started watching him, that's why I made a video that he leaked out because he used to talk about Christ or Jesus Christ, and now he doesn't mention it like that. So it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not forcing anybody to believe that there was a son and that died for our sins. I mean, I'm not he is paying for what humankind at that time should have paid for themselves. He literally paid the price and is coming through again through the bloodlines to be the person he was, and like full circle type of thing is my understanding. So but he literally paid the price to be able to articulate that to people, what the value of life is and what the cost of death is in human form. So um, I don't know, but let's see. Well, and then I was gonna go into the different names, and it's like I told a couple people that talk about the same type of thing. I know what I read. I know what the Masons know. I know the Jesuits, and I know the Eastern Star, and I could talk and actually explain things to people that I sit here and watch them struggle and guess. I guess that's their thing. They don't want to hear what some old lady's got to say, but I do know that I feel like they're stupid not to talk to me. And somebody asked a question, and I went over there and wrote, "Nobody wants to talk to me." And I know these things. I've made videos on them, and it's like, oh, yeah, well, whatever. She's just only been here for 6 decades and knows quite a bit of stuff, but we won't listen to her because she's not our age, you know. That's ridiculous. It's like telling God, well, a little different, but in the same sense. I'm not going to listen to you. You just know everything. Why should I listen to you? You know? So it's very irritating to watch these people struggle and guess and toss ideas around. And I know if I just had the chance to speak, I would be able to articulate it in a way that they would understand and stop the damn guessing games and give me value for working as hard as I have all my life. So, yeah, it does piss me off. It's like, okay, you little baby idiots, just have fun what you're doing because you're wasting time. And to me, that is what it feels like when you could learn something just like that and move on with something else, but you're taking your time, straining your brain, or playing these games. See, it's one of the two. It's either a major scam or they actually don't know and they're whittling away their time trying to figure things out. One of the two. But whichever it is, I'm calling them idiots because it is. It's putrid. It's getting old. You know, I mean, I love it when people read scriptures and they're trying to decipher them for themselves. I mean, I can see that, and in a sense, it's kind of cool to watch, especially if they're getting it right. But when I hear that somebody else has said something that's just totally flipping whack, or not, or not, even some that may be close, but it's like, and I could actually articulate the names and explain things, and they won't listen to me. So it's like, why even ask the question? Who are you asking the question to? A 15-year-old? You know, I bet you'll get your answers there, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, it does piss me off. So anyway, yeah, I need to calm down. Give me a moment. I mean, I'm not radical. I'll tell you what. Um, the thoughts that go through my head and all the crap that I can't prove, that I know, it's got me radically seething on the inside, not with a murderous rage, but with a need to say, hey, I'm not going to insult anybody, say, wake the F up, but I will say, um, why? Why don't people want to know the truth? Why? Why wouldn't people that have pieces of information, um, why wouldn't they put it out here for everybody to know when it is our right to know everything about ourselves, right or wrong? You know, it is. It's our right. So when I get angry, I'm getting angry at these people that I know the truth and they're not talking about it, you know. So maybe there's a right time and a wrong time, and God will put the information out at the right time. Maybe that's it. But I've been patient for quite some time, a long time, actually. So, I mean, when you grew up knowing, I know I say this a lot, but when you grow up knowing things that are just coming out in the internet, um, it's frustrating. It's like I've not just coming into this. It's not like I woke up one day like a few years back or 10 years back, or I'm talking 60 years of this shit, you know? I'm talking at least by the time I was 10, I had a really good grasp of what was going on just with what God put into my heart. And then by the time I was 20, I had everything down pat. I had to let it rest for several decades because I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. Now there's all kinds of people talking about it, but they don't want to talk to anybody. Oh, I guess if I had a, well, it wouldn't matter if I had a bachelor's degree in Christian Science or whatever. It wouldn't matter to these people because I guess it just doesn't matter. They would rather play their little 21 questions in their guessing games, but that is what pissed me off. Uh, I'll name names. Justin Michael asked the question, what did he think about everybody being, um, well, Lucifer being Christ? Well, I've said it before. That's God's sickest part is Satan, and uh, he's going to be okay someday. I've always said that. And we are offsprings of that. And yes, he is of Christ. He'll be Christ like that because that sick part was pissed, you know. And if you think about things logically, it makes perfect sense, except for the fact that they got the names all screwed up with the name Lucifer and Christ and who everybody is. And that's the part I can't prove. And that's the part that if I could just tell these people and they would listen to me, so it makes me feel like at least one of them that I'm thinking of is playing a game. So, and I wonder why. What are you trying to cover up? Well, you probably won't watch me because you weren't man enough to answer me. Mm. And I'll just say because I think you're boyish. So, anyway, um, what can I say? That's the way things is. Don't get out here and ask questions lest you don't want to know the answers, and don't assume that I don't know the answers. You know, whatever you want to rewrite in your mind, but and I'm gonna take it there too. Getting on there drinking and God knows maybe smoking too at the same time. I don't know, but when you drink, you ain't gonna think, and you might think that you do, but you don't. So and I've seen it. I don't care. I was a drug rehab counselor. I've seen it all. I've seen all this type of crap all my life. So I know better. But I mean, yeah, you can articulate a few things when you're drinking, but um, the connections of what you should be doing are lacking in that respect because of the alcohol. And it is the most dangerous drug in the world. It is. So, what makes it so dangerous is that it's legal all over the place and readily available everywhere, you know. Yeah, I guess it was a little bit of a rant, but and I I didn't even know I was gonna say that, but um, yeah, it bugged me to ask a question. What do people think about this? And I went over and said, "What? Yeah, you're right, but there's more to it." But nobody seems to want to talk to me. And I thought perhaps if he had God in his heart truly wanted to benefit everybody, that he'd say, "Hey, I'll talk to you. What do you have that um, can make me understand things a little better?" That's what a man would have done, or any woman. You know what I mean. And be like my friend in the UK, if she told me something and but you don't want to talk to me, and I'd be like, "Oh, but I do. What do you know? I gotta know what you know. And besides that, I like you and I want to talk to you anyway." That would be a bonus, but I won't get that out of a baby. So he got bummed with me because I was aggressive towards people. Yeah. Well, too flippin' bad. You know. Actually, it's a game. The drama game. Oh, it's too dramatic for me. No, no. Usually I'm not. It would take a lot to push me into a fit of anger, but debating something, heatedly debating something, that's not drama. That's reality of the chaos that we live in and the anger that comes with being jerked around by cruddy people. So, um, to me, these people that say, "Oh, it's too much drama," are the ones that are causing it, because when you do not care enough about everybody in the world to listen to what somebody has to say that could help everybody, if you had people that would actually listen to you and you could talk to them about something, why wouldn't you? You know, so or lack of respect for um, a woman. That's what it is. So, unless I was a young woman, because he's an unmarried young man. So there you got some hormones getting in the way with Satanistic bullshit too. So I'm just saying it like it is. I don't care who wants what or says what. So maybe from a divorced home, and his mother was um, strong minded, perhaps, with her son. Been there, done that. Well, you can't bend and break and say, "Oh, go ahead, do whatever you want. I'm glad you're killing yourself. What a lovely day." No. You go, "No, this is not right and it's going to end. So we're going to do this." you know. So, but anyway, and that's so all of those equations equal. I guess I have to put that one in God's hands too, because I mean, I'm not going to honor a man that claims to be a Christian and is out there reading the Bible and then asks a question and isn't man enough to answer. So, yeah, there. I just settled that one for myself. Well, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back with them names regardless. I'll shoot them at you real quick. This is all in order to fix Christ, which is God's saddest part from making all us. He got weakened, but yet he wanted to be here on earth so he could have a companion in his life. So going through full cycle would bring a female for him to be on that level, close enough level to be able to relate. And I guess they're going to show everybody that there is a mom and a dad. But okay, I'm just going to say it. Christ equals Satan. Satan equals God. Lucifer is a spirit. The spirit equals God. Christ equals God. And God equals Lucifer. The Father, the big man, is the Almighty. The Son of Man is man of mankind, which enhances Satan. And the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, is the woman because she died first. And not for everybody's sins, but, well, that's part of a story too. I'll write it down and make a chart. I'll make a chart and then I'll be able to explain it, but I think you caught it there. So, and hence, yes, we're all Luciferians, but the thing is, see, the female's name is Jesus or Lucifer, and the male spirit is Satan or Christ, and the Almighty Father is also the Spirit through Christ, through our blood. And if you make all them connections, go back and forth with the names and think in your heart and in your mind what makes sense. Because logically, having two parents, if, say, God cloned himself, there was man. Man cloned himself, there was somebody a little different. But then it couldn't be done anymore because that would take the spirit out of the soul. So then you have these soulless creatures running around that Satan experimented with and whatnot. They're still a part of his soul. They're a part of him, but they're more globbed into one ball of stuff, you see. So God's going to clean all that stuff up and make them individual for themselves and lift them up, But that can't, you can't, it's got to end now or they will be destroyed. They'll destroy themselves. So I hope all that made sense. That's about it. I don't know who listens to me or whatever, but I know what I'm talking about, and I hope it reaches home. I hope people start getting out there telling the truth about our history. That's why some cultures, like even the Muslims, know that there is a female. Some try to say that the Virgin Mary and Mary, that was a follower of Christ, were one and the same. That's a story unto itself too, because of the bloodline and our forefathers and who everybody is. So I'd say with all that, kind of ask God in your heart and he'll put it there. So that's about it. So well, anyway, I'll say peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thank you for joining me, and God bless your night or day wherever you're at. And I'm just going to wait for 3 more seconds. Okay, everybody, peace.